Good morning grade 7 students. Welcome to our new video. In previous video we have studied about the chapter that is motion and time. And today we are going to start with new chapter that is windstorms and cyclone. In this chapter we are going to study about the cyclone, the causes caused by cyclone and the safety measures.
Remember that the moving air is called a wind. As we all know, thousands of people lost their lives, property worth crores of rupees are destroyed. The cyclone affect agriculture, transport, communication and electric supply. Can you see this atmospheric pressure? Air has weight and exert pressure. So it exerts pressure on the earth. Can you see the outermost layer? Pressure exerted by atmosphere on the surface of earth is called as atmospheric pressure. Air exerts pressure. Air expands on heating and contracts on cooling. Hot air is lighter than cold air and rises up. So hot air is lighter than cold air and it rises up. So let us start with an experiment. Air exerts pressure. Take a tin can with a lid. Can you see in the figure? Fix it approximately half with water. Heat the can on a candle flame till the water boils. So we are going to heat up till the water boils. Let the water boil for few minutes. Blow out the candle and immediately put the lid tightly on the can. So after blowing that candle, we are going to put a lid tightly on the can. Put the can carefully in a shallow metallic vessel or in the wash basin. Now pour cold water over the can. So we are going to put cold water over the can. So what is observed? Can is crushed inwards. Now what happens? Can you see the cold water? The steam and water is there in the can. So when we put the water, so the space that is occupied with the vacuum. First, can you see the air and water? When we heat, the steam, air is removed and the steam take that place. And last, when we put the cold water, that space is taken up by vacuum. So here what happens? Water boil and water converts into water vapor. Steam will push out most of the air out of the can. When suddenly cold water was poured over the can, steam condenses into water, creating that empty space in the can. So air pressure inside can and air pressure outside. Atmosphere pressure exerting from outside on all the sides of can distorts the can. Now air expands on heating. Inflate the balloon slightly and fix it on the mouth of the bottle tightly with a thread. Pour hot water in one mug and cold water in the other mug. So we are going to inflate the balloon, and fix it on the mouth of the bottle. Can you see in the picture given below? And one side you are going to pour hot water in one mug and cold water in the other mug. Place the bottle with the balloon in cold water. Observe the size of the balloon. Now transfer the bottle now to the mug containing hot water. At first we are going to put it on the cold water and then in the hot water. Observe again the size of the balloon. So can you see? Cold air contract deflates the balloon. So here in the cold water the balloon is deflating. And in hot water, air warm, expand, rises up and inflates the balloon. How thunderstorms become cyclones. So before cloud formation, water takes up heat from the atmosphere to change into vapor. When water vapor changes back to liquid, form as raindrops. This heat is released to the atmosphere. When water vapor changes back and the liquid form as a raindrops we get, and the heat which is produced, that is released by the atmosphere. The heat released to the atmosphere warms the air around, and this which heat is released, this warms the air around, and the air tends to rise and cause a drop in pressure. More air rushes to the center of the storm, center of the storm, which is called the eye of the storm, and this cycle is repeated. Factors like wind speed, wind direction, temperature and humidity contribute to the development of the cycle. The oceans carry water and bring rain. It is a part of the water cycle. The monsoon winds carry water and it rains. Clouds bring rain and give us happiness. Farmers in our country depend mainly on rains for this harvest. So our agriculture farmers are mainly dependent on the rain. There are many folk songs associated with the clouds and rain. So when the rain comes, so there are many folk songs which are associated with the clouds and rain. Now the thunderstorms and cyclone. Thunderstorms develop in hot and humid tropical areas like India very frequently. The rising temperatures produce strong upward rising winds. These winds carry water droplets upwards where they freeze and fall down again. The swift movement of the falling water droplets along with the rising air create lightning and sound. It is this event that we call a thunderstorm. Okay, you will read about lightning in higher classes. So the rising temperature with producing strong upward rising winds. Okay, and these winds carry water droplets along with it upwards where they freeze and fall down again. And this is how the rising air which create lightning and the sounding and the thunders, we can hear the thunderstorm. If a storm is accompanied by lightning, we must take the following precautions. So the precautions to be taken, okay, during lightning. Do not take shelter under an isolated tree. If you are in a forest, take shelter under a small tree. Do not lie on the ground. Do not take shelter under an umbrella with a metallic end. Do not sit near a window. Open garages, storage sheds, metal sheds are not safe places to take shelter. A car or a bus is a safe place to take shelter. If you are in water, get out and go inside a building. So these are the precautions. Destruction caused by cyclones. Now the cyclones cause that destruction. Cyclone can be very destructive. Strong winds push water towards the shore even if the storm is hundreds of kilometers away. These are the first indications of approaching cyclone. So strong winds push water towards the shore. Okay, and these are the first indications of the cyclone. The water waves produced by the wind are so powerful that a person cannot overcome them. The low pressure in the eye lifts water surface in the center, and the rising water may be as high as 3 to 12 meters. It appears like a water wall moving towards the shore. As a result, the sea water enters the low-lying coastal areas, causing several loss of life and property. It also reduces the fertility of soil. Continuous heavy is moving towards the shore and there is continuously heavy rainfall. It may worsen the flood situation. High speed winds accompanying a cyclone can damage houses, telephones and other communication systems, trees, etc., causing tremendous loss of life and property. A cyclone is known by different names in different parts of the world. It is called as Ukraine in the American continent. In Philippines and Japan, it is called as typhoon. Now the tornadoes. In our country, they are not very frequent. A tornado is a dark funnel-shaped cloud that reaches from the sky to the ground. Most of the tornadoes are weak. A violent tornado can travel at speeds of about 300 km per hour. Tornadoes may form within cyclone. The whole coastal line of India is vulnerable to cyclones, particularly the east coast. The west coast of India is less vulnerable to cyclonic storms, both in terms of intensity and frequency of a cyclone. So, vulnerable, that is weak and easy to hurt and not safe. Okay. So, this west coast on India is less vulnerable, whereas the coastal line of India is vulnerable to cyclones, that is particularly the east coast. Then the effective safety measure, a cyclone forecast and warning service. Rapid communication of warnings to the government agencies, the ports, fishermen, ships and to the general public. construction of cyclone shelters in the cyclone prone areas, and administrative arrangements for moving people fast to the safer places. So, then action on the part of the people. We should not ignore the warnings issued by the meteorological department through TV, radio, or newspaper. So, the warning should not be ignored, which are issued by the meteorological department. We should make necessary arrangement to shift the essential household goods, domestic animals, and vehicles, etc., to safer places. Avoiding driving on roads through standing water, as floods may have damaged the roads, and keep ready the phone numbers of all emergency services like police, fire brigade, and medical centers. Some other precautions if you are staying in a cyclone hit area. Do not drink water that could be contaminated. Always store drinking water for emergencies. Do not touch wet switches and fallen power lines. Do not go out just for the sake of fun. Do not pursue the rescue force by making undue demands. Cooperate and help your neighbors and friends. So these are some you are staying in a cyclone hit areas. Advanced technology has helped. This day we are better protected. In the early part of the last century, coastal residents may have and less than a day to prepare or evacuate their homes from an oncoming cyclone. The world today is very different. Thanks to satellites and radars, a cyclone alert or cyclone watch is issued 48 hours in advance of any expected storm, and a cyclone warning is issued 24 hours in advance. So, we are very much thanks for satellites and radars. Okay, so we get the alert. Okay, before that it is issued in 48 hours in advance. The message is broadcast every hour or half an hour when a cyclone is near the coast. Several national and international organizations.
Students, I hope you all are clear with this video. If you have any queries, you can ask me questions on my personal WhatsApp number. You are going to watch this video and read the whole chapter.